Mis amigos, do you like my office schoolroom? And then I'm actually in like a t-shirt and my hair's down. Weird, right? So today I want to talk about eating habits and nutrition, but before I get into that, let me give you a little background about me. My love for movement and exercise started as a kid doing martial arts. I was a black belt by the age of 12. I was on the demo team, so I like to show off a little bit. I almost made it to second degree. And then my first step into the fitness world was as a AFA group exercise instructor. So here is the current AFA book. I use it a lot. I refer back to it a lot. Kinesiology, physiology, a little bit of nutrition, health, of course, muscles, joints, all that good stuff. My original book is a little over 10 years. We're gonna go with a little over. So, my next step was personal training. I really enjoyed the one-on-one relationships that I got with clientele. And then of course the celebrating big successes was awesome. I had one client who lost more than 80 pounds and that was pretty amazing. I've worked at several different large gyms. I've seen the good and the bad of the trendy fitness industry. Currently, I teach team training. I have 6 current certifications, and I love to stay active and knowledgeable in recent health and fitness news. So let's get back to eating habits and nutrition. I sometimes don't like to use the word diet as that makes people think of like a short-term solution to losing weight. But when I use the word diet, please think long-term or like day-to-day eating habits. So when wanting to reach a healthy or maintain a healthy body weight, long-term, diet accounts for 80%, whereas consistent exercise really only accounts for about 20%. So the weight loss formula is as simple as energy in must be less than energy out, meaning the more food energy we consume, the more energy we need to burn in order to lose weight. So whether you're counting calories, macros, carbs, or trying out the latest fad diets, it's always that simple. You must be burning more than you're intaking. So let's talk about energy. Since food, energy, accounts for 80% of overall health and wellness, first of all, not all food energy is created equal. Greasy, fried foods, high-calorie foods, however, cannot be converted into good usable energy in the body. Fats, highly processed food, for example, fast food, boxed shelf items at the store, bought baked goods, fast food baked goods, stuff like that. Overly salty foods actually do the opposite. Instead of acting as energy for the body, it usually makes us sluggish and hungry again a short time later. Sugary foods, when not burned off right away, will get stored as fat in the body. So, fresh, whole foods are by far the best for the body. Fruits, veggies, beans, legumes, whole grains, seeds, and nuts are very nutrient dense, and the body is easily able to convert into high effective energy and can easily absorb all the essential vitamins and minerals our body needs on a daily basis. Saturated fats are found in meats and dairy. They quickly clog the arteries and cause diseases and a multitude of cancers. So you might wonder, since I'm not a certified nutritionalist, how can I so confidently come up with this conclusion? Well, after reading some books and doing some research, which, by the way, I'm going to show you some of the books, not all, some of the books that I have read recently about nutrition, diet, health, vitamins and minerals, all that good stuff. First of all, if you do like to read, highly suggest The China Study by Dr. T. Colin Campbell. It's amazing. It's a study of diet and nutrition and how it has affected people over, I think it was about the course of like 20 years, 30 years in rural areas versus like urban areas, and how their diet actually affects disease and how early on in life they died, stuff like that. So very interesting. I've also watched quite a few documentaries. I enjoy reading articles, Idea Fitness Journal, different ones on the internet about the latest and greatest in the modern fitness world. And I started noticing a pattern. The more the human body eats plant-based nutrient-rich foods, the happier and healthier those people are. In other words, the more fresh fruits, veggies, whole grains, legumes, beans people ate, the better chance for overall wellness. If you can find this National Geographic magazine titled Blue Zones, it is a must-read. There are hotspots scattered all over the earth where the average person lives 100 or more years on average. So think about that for a second. Me, you, your neighbor, aunt, uncle, your kids, on average, live to be 100. So that must mean for 100 or so years, they're doing something right. Like that's longer than any other average on the face of this earth. So if we're going to talk about like diet related studies, 100 years is kind of a long time. So there's these different hot spots scattered all over the earth. I have a globe. I'm put little dots on it for you, just so I can show you. Anywho, so think about that. The average person lives to see their 100th birthday. So literally for that community, that hotspot, they must be doing something right. They truly have figured something out. So that means they have less disease, less middle-aged mortality, less cancers, less heart disease, just to name a few. So let's show you where these 5 hotspots are. Super interesting. First one, Icaria, Greece, I don't know how to say it, has the world's lowest rates of middle-aged mortality and dementia. On a daily basis, they eat more green veggies than anything else on their plate. Okinawa, Japan, little island below Japan, is home to the world's longest lived woman. 2/3 of their diet is sweet potatoes. And then Sardinia, Italy, little island off the coast of Italy, is home to the highest concentration of men over 100 years old and has the highest percentage of their diet comes from grains. Loma Linda, California, is there's an exclusive hotspot there. Includes multiple ethnic groups from a very specific area. The majority of their diet comes from fruits grown in their very own backyard gardens. And then the last one, Costa Rica, is in Costa Rica. Home to the world's oldest man. They make their own corn tortillas. They eat a lot of squash and papayas. So, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking the diet has something to do with it. So my professional opinion for true optimal wellness is a whole foods plant-based diet. If you've never heard that before, I suggest looking up, there's magazines, there's books, Forks Over Knives. If you Google whole foods plant-based diet, you'll find a bunch of stuff. But it's kind of like meatless Mondays for most days of the week. So it includes a bunch of different foods. It's not just the same veggies, the same fruits, the same whatever. Think brown rice, organic pasta, whole grain tortillas. See? That looks good. Organic whole grain bread, fruits, veggies, soups, beans, legumes, nuts, tofu, quinoa. If you've never had tofu, I suggest using a lot of seasoning because tofu will soak up the seasoning and the sauce that you cook it with. So I highly suggest using quite a bit of seasoning. But in all honesty, look into it yourself. Find out, do some research yourself, read some books. Don't just go by what the internet says, read some books. And then please do not fall into the trap of trying the latest fad diet. A lot of times the latest fad diet can actually do more harm than good. So just because something is new and it's out there doesn't mean it's necessarily good for you. And if you'd like more information about the Blue Zones, look up Dan Buettner and look for his books at your local library. Again, that was the Blue Zones. Thanks for listening to the end. Oh, it's over 9 minutes. I'm so sorry. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the like button. Thanks, guys.